He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE, as millions of other people are upset.
March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work.
Amid raging protests against ICE officers and their random killings of civilians, a 37-year-old nurse was fatally shot by a Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The government alleges that he was shot because he was carrying a weapon and the agent fired in self-defense. Contrary to visual evidence of the incident, the Department of Homeland Security labeled him a suspect, and Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, called him an assassin on his personal account.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers.
I'm standing on the street where a couple of hours ago, a federal agent shot a man after some kind of confrontation right behind me. Afterwards, neighbors, residents, protesters flooded the streets. There was a intense back and forth, tear gas, flashbangs, ice being thrown over and over and over again. They've left, followed by local law enforcement, but it's 5 below, and there are still hundreds of people on the street here where the shooting happened and the surrounding intersections.
March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work.
Born in Illinois, Alex Jeffrey Pretti was a U.S. citizen and had no criminal record according to court documents. His family said that he had never interacted with law enforcement beyond a handful of traffic tickets. His family said that he deeply cared about people and was upset with the things happening in Minneapolis and across other U.S. states amid the immigration crackdown. He participated in the protests as he felt what was happening was terrible and wrong.
He thought it was terrible. Kidnapping children, just grabbing people off the street. He cared about those people, and he knew it was wrong. So he did participate in the protests. He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE, as millions of other people are upset. I had this discussion with him 2 weeks ago or so, that go ahead and protest, but do not engage, do not do anything stupid, basically.
He wouldn't.
And he said he knows that. He knew that.
He hated that, people were just trashing the land. And he was an outdoorsman. He took his dog everywhere he went. He loved this country. But he hated what people were doing to it.
We need ICE out of Minnesota. They are not making us more safe. As the tragic killing this morning, as people saw it viscerally on that video, shows us, they are making us less safe. And finally, we call on our Republican colleagues to stand with us. I know they know what's going on here because it's happening in their own districts. But I do remind people that Donald Trump runs the White House, and sadly, because to date we have not seen the Republican members of Congress standing up, he also seems to run the Congress.
The city of Minneapolis is filing a declaration after today's shooting to encourage the judge to rule on a temporary restraining order on Monday that would grant us immediate relief and would help stop this operation that has been so harmful to the city of Minneapolis. The state of Minnesota has resulted in multiple shootings and tragic deaths.
The death comes amid frayed tempers in the state following Renee Nicole Good's shooting by ICE agent Jonathan Ross and other similar shootings. When will Trump realize the massacre is taking place in his own nation?